everyone, welcome to another Marc Harvill art painting tutorial video, and wanted to just take a brief moment to thank you for viewing, and for those of you who've been kind of following along this journey for a while now. I do appreciate it. What I'm doing here is I'm putting together this little painting, just a little idea that I had to come to mind where I just thought it'd be kind of fun to paint the Savior surrounded by some children. So what I did is I've laid everything in kind of where I wanted it. I did that all in acrylic, and I even blocked in my little kids here. Obviously blocked in the Savior and the little child on his lap. And I've done all this here in acrylic. Now as I've come in with the detail though, I'm using oil paints. And I know that some of you have kind of viewed some past tutorials where I kind of explain this process. I like to always kind of underpaint in acrylic. That gives me the freedom of sort of figuring out where I want my composition, where I want the objects to kind of appear. It dries very fast, and then when it comes to the oil portion with the finer detail, then I'll just lay those oils on top of that acrylic. So that's kind of how I like to do that. And so what I thought I'd share now, so I've been working, of course, on the Savior, and I've been working on my little girl here, and as you can kind of see, I made a mistake on the mouth of my little girl. I actually had the mouth kind of formed, it was kind of wrong, really. It was just, it didn't appear that she was kind of looking away. It was kind of just too much more kind of forward, as if her face was kind of faced more forward. So I needed to change that. So what I've done is I've kind of just blotted it all out, and I'm starting to reshape and reform that so that the direction is a little bit better. So I'm going to let that dry because, of course, once I paint in oils, I got to keep painting in oils. I can't do corrections in acrylic. So that's kind of what's going on there. So that's going to dry for a few days. And I'm going to leave the Savior's clothing alone just for now. Of course, when I do come back in, I'll use some glazes in the end. I know some of you have seen that as well, where I like to glaze and do color corrections and bring in some highlights and shadows with my glazing. And I usually think that that's kind of the icing on the cake. What I do want to do, though, is I want to work on my little girl right here, and I just want to work on her head, her hair, and in her face, and I just wanted to share that with you. It's exactly the same process I did working on the other two, and so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into that. Okay, so I've now pulled out my oil palette, and on that I'm just using a very basic series of colors. I've got Van Dyke Brown. You can use burnt umber as well, would be just fine. Ultramarine blue, cad red, cad yellow, and white. And I'm just going to kind of start to work the kind of the highlighted portions on that. I'm going to be working out this sun glow and kind of the silver lining here, and I've pre-mixed these colors on my palette. I talk about that in past videos as well, that you can check that out. And I'm just using the very minute amount of paint on the brush. I'm not even using any sort of mineral spirits. I'm not using anything to thin it down, any sort of mediums. It's just pure paint. Right from the tube. And I'm just going to start here working these highlights. And because I've prepared this underpainting in acrylic, then I can come back over it with these colors, and I don't have to use nearly as much paint to do that. I can just kind of soften and blend as I go, and I can begin to kind of work out these very tiny, intricate details of our little girl here. So I tend to use very small brushes. I use kind of a small filbert, which helps me to kind of cover some of the larger surface area. And then I can use these kind of small, tiny little round brushes for some of the more detailed work here. And so because I've pre-mixed these colors on my palette, it's just much easier for me to kind of go in and do that. I prefer to pre-mix than to mix with my brushes. And I don't even clean my brushes between applications. I just simply wipe off on a paper towel. I prefer to keep my brush as soft and dry as I can when painting this way. It's going to be wet on wet, and I can just blend as I go, and I can wipe on my paper towel, and I can pick up new color. I used to keep several brushes going. I have a dedicated brush for my highlights, and I have a dedicated brush for my shadows, and if I were to like change colors and so forth, but I tend to find that I can actually just use one brush and keep wiping it away. And of course, if I need to have a pure saturated color, I won't do that, but for the most part I can achieve this by just using the same brush and wiping it off. So I can continue to kind of work around bringing in the shadows, bringing in the lights, and it's much quicker this way. So as I kind of begin working here into the hair region a little bit more, I'm still keeping my strokes very soft and very subtle, and I'm trying to just kind of blend them out and soften them as I go. I think I achieve a better effect here. And then I can bring in my rigger brush if I need to have a little bit more sharpness to those strokes. Otherwise, I'm just trying to use this small, the blade side of the small filbert brush, and I can get that softness. And then come back and use this rigger brush again if I need to just bring in a little bit more individual strands and a little bit more definition. So later on I'll start bringing in some glazes. I'm just trying to approximate the colors right now. And then when I come back with glazes, which I'll demonstrate a little bit later in the video, I can use it for color correcting, and I can use it to bring in shadow just by creating some simple little washes. But for now, I just want to kind of approximate those colors, kind of really establish the lights and the darks, and bring in those forms. And then I'll let that dry, and we can bring in those glazes later. I try to do all this in mostly one sitting, but when it comes to glazing, you do have to let several days dry if you're using oil paint. And so here's where I can start to introduce more of the pure white now for the silver lining into the clothing. And because I've used this acrylic underpainting and gotten that kind of established here, I can really capitalize on using that dark underpainting and really start to form out the wrinkles and the folds of the clothing here. So I don't want to kill all that, but I can just bring in some soft, subtle suggestions here through a couple of simple brush strokes, and I'll be able to start to really create some shape and form here and bring in some dimension. So I'm trying to keep my colors pretty cool and pretty desaturated at this point in time. Just using some ultramarine blue, a little bit of alizarin crimson here, and just kind of desaturating that. Now here's where I begin to apply those washes, and as of course I've painted all the children in now. I didn't need to show that because it's just a lot of repetition from what I was just demonstrating with the first little girl. But I've let several days go by now so that it's touch dry before bringing in these glazes, and you want to definitely make sure it's completely dry, otherwise you're going to start to just smear color and it's not good. But my palette here is just made up of black and ultramarine blue and Van Dyke brown, and I'm kind of using those colors in their pure form, and I'm mixing them with liquid. That way they're still very transparent, and I can come now and really start to bring in a lot more dimension by adding these darker and deeper shadows. And again, this is a good way that I can bring shape and form here, as well as really establish that contrast. And you don't need a lot of paint on the brush, and it's recommended that you would do no more than a 50-50 mix on this. If you have too much of your medium, then it will cause kind of a cracking or a peeling down the road once it dries. So you'll want to make sure that you have a pretty decent balance between the paint and your medium. And so I like to use liquid, and the reason I do is that it's very fast drying. And so but honestly, you could use any sort of oil you want. There's walnut oils and stand oils, and there's all sorts of different types of oils. I'm pulling my malt stick out now. I want to bring in a little bit more highlight. I'm bringing in some reds, kind of bringing in some warmth to the knuckles and the cheeks here. That way it's kind of just showing a little bit more rosy and warm tones here where the blood flows. And I'm using my stick here just because I don't want to smear anything, since it's all been re-wetted again. But now I can come back and bring in some more yellows and whites just to kind of get my tonal best here. Now this is where I'm adding the paint much thicker, and it will help it to really stand out. And so this is kind of my final sort of detail work, and this is where I really add kind of most of the pure saturated color in its pure form, and quite thick as well. And this is where I can now begin to bring in some of the grasses. So I've let the painting dry again for a few days. That way I can go right in front of it and bring in this grass, some of the bright kind of yellowish grasses, and then some of the more cool bluish green grasses for my shadows. But this way I can really seat these girls and the savior right there into the grass, and it kind of helps to tuck them in there and kind of push them back just slightly from the foreground. That way they're not just kind of floating there in space. And then once I get this all kind of established and taken care of, I can bring in some more of the flowers and kind of bring those around the girls as well, and that'll just help to again create a little bit more depth here. But I'm just using my
my liner brush here. I've got this little edger brush, and I can make some nice thin strokes, but I'm keeping them very soft and not adding too much detail at this stage either. By keeping everything soft around the girls and the Savior, I can really focus all the detail on them.
Well, guys, I appreciate you tuning in today just to watch how I put together just our little girl here. I know I didn't have a chance to show you the entire painting process, but it's pretty involved and time consuming, and there just wouldn't simply be enough time to walk through each little step. But the way I represented painting our little girl here was very much the way I represented painting all of the figures here in this painting. So I hope that was helpful for you. And just as a side note, I've not been putting a lot of content out lately. I've just been immensely busy with other things, other projects as well. And I'm not a full-time artist, so this is sort of my side gig, side hustle. And I do have another full-time job that I'm involved in, so that very often can pull me away quite a bit from creating more content for my channel. But hopefully down the road, as things change, as things kind of build momentum, then perhaps I can start to really focus a whole lot more into my art, which is what I hope to do. And so we all have to pursue our passions. So anyway, until this becomes my full-time thing, this will just have to remain my side gig. And anyway, it's a lot of fun. So hopefully you find passion in your art or in whatever you're pursuing. So again, if you've not subscribed, please do so. I appreciate your support, your comments, and I'll look forward to sharing with you another episode here real soon. So thank you so much, and bye-bye.